Behold, the Mad Wagon! So this is it. Once you've taken everything out of the box, this is what you get. This is the Kyosho Mad Wagon VE. This is a brand new release from Kyosho on a brand new chassis. So let's take a bit of a closer look. But before that, this is what else you get. You get instructions for the car that you're probably not going to read, and you get some spare parts. These look like they're mostly for the shocks. There's rod ends, some pistons, there's some Allen keys, a couple of wrenches for the wheels and other nuts on the car, and what looks to be a spare part of some description. So once we take the body shell off, we'll figure out what that is. You also get the Kyosho Synchro KT231P radio. This is the same radio that comes with the USA 1 and the Phaser cars. It's a really good radio. Easy to use. It has all the trim and endpoints you can want, as well as really, really, really good range. So as far as RTR radios go, really good. I'm not going to throw that one. So let's take a closer look at this car. So first impressions are, yeah, it's a wagon. It's kind of like a 1970s panel van, ute turned canopy van thing. Really, really, really cool. I especially like it's got these roof racks here, just like the Mad van that's going to protect this great looking body. Up the front we have a bumper that is not bolted to the body but bolted to the chassis, which is again tougher, really cool. And then we've got the grille and light piece with ready to go light buckets for 5mm LEDs. The Kyosho sells separately, although I think pretty much any 5mm LEDs will go in there. At the back we have an adjustable wheelie bar that at the moment is set very conservatively. If you want this thing to sit around being almost vertical under power, we can raise that one up, and I think that's probably what we're going to do. We also have these new 2.8-inch wheels with a, I'd say medium, soft to medium compound, sort of half off-road gravel, dirt, and a little bit on-road as well tires on them. They actually feel quite grippy. I think they'll wear in really nicely. Soft enough to give grip. They don't look like they're going to balloon a huge amount. I do expect them to balloon, especially on 3S power. So let's take the body off and let's see what this new chassis looks like. So there it is, the KB10 chassis. At first glance, this thing looks tough. It's made from the floor pan, or the main chassis is aluminium. It looks thick, like maybe a 2.5, 3mm thick aluminium. It has this big plastic center brace going down the middle. I think that's what one of our spare parts was from, though I can't place it in there. It looks really tough. There's triangles all going through it, and as we know, triangles and therefore Doritos are the strongest thing naturally occurring in nature. This car comes with oil shocks. They are plastic bodied, and plastic slider shafts, like telescoping shafts for the drive shafts, as well as plastic upper camber links. A lot of people say this can be a bad thing, but it really does depend on the composition of the plastic. Just because it's plastic doesn't make it weak. And being not adjustable is simple. If it's set up right at the factory, which all Kyoshos are, there's really no need for that adjustability. But because it's a very simple design, it means it's easy to replace. There's nothing crazy about the shocks or the links. It looks like they would be very, very easy to find from the aftermarket. So electronically matched to that radio is we have in this little waterproof receiver box, or what looks to be a waterproof receiver box, is the matched Kyosho branded receiver, a 9kg waterproof metal geared servo, but the power system is what I'm really interested in. This has a obviously Hobbywing sourced Brains 10 ESC. It looks like a maybe a Max 10, something like that. It is only 80 amp, but on on burst, that'll go up to, I don't know, 360, 480. It's plenty for the 2S or 3S this car's going to run on, because the motor is a 3668 long can 2850 kV brushless motor. I really like the look of this motor. It has the same diameter as a 540 size that we see in a bunch of other cars, but it's longer, so it should have really good torque. It has also slightly lower kV than we might see in a lot of cars. You usually see about 3,200 or something in the Armours, I believe. So this is a little bit lower, which should mean a little bit more torque. Then maybe you can make the most of the different gear ratios to set it up how you like. Speaking of, this car will run on either a 2S or a 3S battery. I feel like it's going to be maybe a little bit slow, but hopefully it'll prove me wrong on 2S. But 3S, it allegedly does 75 kilometers an hour. So Kyosho are usually pretty spot on with how fast their cars go. Hopefully this is no different, because 75 kilometers an hour and this little thing would be sweet. It would be perfect. It'd be just a little bit too fast, which, as we all know, is perfect. Lastly, it does have it's not a center differential. It is just the spur is in the middle. It has an easily accessible slipper clutch arrangement that I really like. You don't have to take anything apart to set the slipper. Has metal center dog bone drive shafts, and the diffs are actually from the 8th scale Inferno Neo buggy, and we know that car can put up with 4S LiPo power, no worries at all. So overall, I think this chassis is going to be a very, very good thing for Kyosho. It's coming in at about $630, so that's $650 price range, which puts it about $100 less than a Traxxas Rustler VXL, but about $100 more than an Armour Granite. So it sits right in that middle part. So I am very, very eager to take this thing out for a test drive. And that's exactly what we're going to do in the next video. So coming up next, we're going to take this car for a bash, for a speed run, and see how this brand new chassis from Kyosho handles. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment and subscribe. Ring the notification bell to see the update video where we actually put this car through its paces, and I will see you all in the next video. Cheers, bye. Next time at Hobbies Direct!
It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground.
You underestimate my power.
Don't try it.
Yes, we're together, and we're keeping the baby. Kyosho!